What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be looking at question 43 from the SAT number 17. This is the QAS test from April 2019. So the question 43 says, which choice provides the best support for the claim that the impact hypothesis is not the only possible explanation for the sudden change in Earth's climate? And then we're given these choices here, which means we have to choose the text. So this is pretty straightforward. Basically, the question wants us to find a text that tells us the impact hypothesis, right? This is the hypothesis that a comet or an asteroid sort of exploded above the Earth and then caused all these things: disappearance of the Clovis hunter, cause of this big cooling period, and then the extinction of a couple different large mammals. So this right here, we're looking for a text that tells us that this is not the only explanation for the sudden change in Earth's climate. So let's jump in. So 8 through 12 is right here. And this says the team argues that its idea explains multiple observations, not only the climate cooling and disappearance of this, but also the near simultaneous extinction of the continent's large mammals. So this sentence here, all it's really doing is saying what the team that talks about the impact hypothesis, what they believe that their theory explains. So they go through, it explains this, it explains that, it explains this. What it doesn't really do is tell us that there are other theories out there about the change in Earth's climate. So this is probably not a good choice. Let's look at B now, which is 15 through 17. That's right here. And this basically says a change in ocean circulation is generally thought to have brought about the onset of the millennium-long cooling, which is known as the Younger Dryas. So just without the context, we may have trouble understanding what it's saying. But if we look up here, we start by saying not all will be convinced, right? Several leading hypotheses already explain each of these three events. So this is a sentence right here that's basically telling us exactly what we're looking for, which is that there's other hypotheses for explaining these events, for explaining why the Clovis hunter disappeared, why the Earth got cool, and why these big mammals went extinct. And then it tells us that here's one of the reasons, right? A change in ocean circulation, right, as opposed to a comet or asteroid, is thought to have brought about this cooling, which is known as the Younger Dryas. So this right here, this text seems to be pretty much exactly what we're looking for. It's telling us that there are other hypotheses out there that could be correct. So I say let's definitely keep B and get rid of A. So we'll look at the other ones. One thing I'll point out to you is notice how this sentence right here, right, these two sentences, those are the ones that tell us most clearly what we're looking for with question 43. Right? Again, we're looking for evidence that there are other theories that explain the evidence we're looking at, and these sentences right here tell us explicitly that. The second sentence here also tells us that, but in a less direct way. So it's just a little pointer for you to know that the SAT does this frequently, where sometimes the most obvious text is not the one that's listed in the choices. And so it's helpful to kind of keep a little like periphery, right? Keep your peripheral vision open so you can look at different contexts and you can make sure that you're understanding what's going on as we go through. Okay, so let's continue. Let's look at C, which is 23 through 26. Let's see, that's right here. The new evidence comes in the form of geochemical analysis of sedimentary layers at 25 archaeological sites across North America, 9 of them Clovis. So this is basically talking about the new evidence that would support the impact hypothesis, right? They're explaining it. But what this doesn't do is tell us about other hypotheses for the change in cooling. Let's get rid of C. Then we have D, lines 26 through 28. This says certain features of layers, say the team, suggest that they contain debris formed by an extraterrestrial impact. Same thing with these lines. All these are doing is telling us why about the new evidence which supports the impact hypothesis by basically saying if you look at these sites, you're going to find evidence for an extraterrestrial impact. Again, though, nothing about how there are other theories that explain the cooling, so the only one that does that is B, which we should choose as our correct answer for question 43.